Hey guys, hope everyone's doing good. Hope everyone got to spend some time with friends and family over the holidays and got to enjoy themselves a bit. Just gonna do a quick little walk around update video of how the subframe install is going. Going pretty good, a little slower than I was hoping. Just trying to make sure things are right, and I'm gonna be happy with them when it's done. I got the outriggers all tied back in. I got the subframe tied back into the frame connectors at the back, and I got the strut bars all made and fitted up. They're pretty much ready to weld in. I also got all the other stuff cut off the subframe, which was basically the front bumper mount brackets, the tranny crossmember brackets, because I'm not going to be using those, and little gussets underneath the front bumper mount bracket. And good news there, I was hoping that that stuff would maybe knock another 5 pounds off. It actually ended up being 7 pounds. So that brings the subframe total to 52 pounds lighter than the original one. So that's pretty cool. I was hoping for 50, so right on the money pretty much. So I think on the last video, I didn't have the old strut bars cut out. I ended up cutting away this part of the firewall, door jamb kind of area. I did remove the fender or the firewall hips off my car a few years ago to save weight. I cut this piece out. Originally, I think I mentioned the old cut was in here when we originally built the cage. You can see that where it was welded back in. But looking at it more, this I thought would be a lot better spot to cut to be able to access that bar, and it worked out really well. You can see it in there. I cut the old one out basically with a Sawzall, and then just used whatever tools I could basically to hack the rest of the nub off. Carbide bits, grinder, buffing discs. It took a bit of work to get in there, but got it all off. So because the original strut bars went through the firewall through this hole, I really didn't want to make the holes any bigger or move the holes. So it did take a fair bit of work to figure out basically the angles, the height, everything to get the bar level with the frame rail and parallel with the frame rail. Go through the hole and basically hit the pillar bar right in line with the door X bar. So basically what I ended up making was, this is just 1/2 inch threaded rod. And I wanted this to be, you know, in an exact location. So this is obviously bent up for the other side, but it was a little harder too because that second bend was not 90 degrees to the first bend. So that caused a lot of thinking required, and I may have messed that up once. Once we wrapped our minds around it, we got it all bent up and really turned out really good. I'm really happy with them. So they're all fitted up right now. Basically, they got the exact same angle. If you look down to the frame rail down there, you can see they're running nice and parallel with that. If you kind of look at the gap there, just to eyeball it. And looking across the other side, where is it here? Right there. You can see they're nice and parallel, same height and everything. And got real nice fit up on everything. Ended up right through the original holes. And like I said, right in line with the door X bars. So worked out really nice. You can see they're lined up really nice. So should be nice and strong. And if you guys are doing your own welding and stuff, the biggest thing I can tell you guys is get your fit ups right. If you have nice tight fit ups, your welds will turn out really nice. So if we follow the subframe to the back, this is a 750 cage. I think most cages probably have the 6x6 plates that your cage attaches to by the rocker. So underneath the car, that 6x6 plate comes all the way down to the rocker. And I think this is a 750 cage thing. I could be wrong. Maybe 850 cage requires it too, but it's like an outrigger bar. Goes from that plate over to either probably your original frame rail or your frame rail, basically. So I've got the outrigger bars done on both sides. Same thing. I had pretty good fit up on everything. So my welds are all nice and tight. Looking good. And at the back, I had to figure out how to tie it all into the original subframe connectors. This actually took me a little while to figure out how I was going to do this because the subframe's has got 4 holes in the back of this mount. If I was going to run the plates straight off of the frame connectors, basically ended up right on the inside of these holes. So I'd only be able to weld basically in between the holes. which I don't think is a big deal, but I just didn't like how it was going to look. So this plate will be welded to the subframe connector and to the new subframe. And then basically what I'll do is I made these little plates up. So that'll go in there like that. I can fully weld it across the top, across that little plate, and around all sides, so it'll be fully boxed in. So I got both sides done. Turned out pretty good. And you see the other side there, turned out about the same. It's all tied together like it was before, and should be good. So then the only thing left really, as far as tying the subframe back in, is the tranny cross member. Because it's a 750 cage and it doesn't really have a lot of floor bars, the tranny cross member is actually part of the chassis. So that needs to be tied back in a certain way. That's why I cut the original mounts off. I wasn't really sure if they met the requirement. I think it requires like a double shear mounting point on both sides. And yeah, the strut bars took a bit of time just to figure out everything, make sure everything clears nice, lots of room for everything. I got the steering kind of half-ass mocked up. I got to make a longer steering shaft, and I got to put the support on here for the steering column. So the other thing I did was capped off the frame rail, located the front end mounts, and I've got those tacked in place. I actually trial fitted the front end last night, made sure everything still fit. Before I cut the original subframe out of the car, I made this little jig up. It's just like 1/2 inch round tube, but basically it bolted up to the firewall to the original fender mounts. And I made it so it ran right through these front end mounts. I also included the turbo mount. This is where it bolted to the front of the block, just kind of another reference. I just really wanted to know where everything was. I didn't want to lose track of anything once I cut that off. So I made this little jig up, and that really helped me locate these front mounts. So then basically, it's got a little tube there sleeved over it that's the same size as the original, and basically just welded them right on where they needed to be. So that worked out pretty good. So next steps today are get the bars tacked in place, get everything double checked, and hopefully get them welded in today. Alright guys, got everything welded up. Turned out pretty nice, not bad. Happy with everything. These inside ones were a real treat. It's not the greatest, prettiest looking welding, but it's fully welded all the way around. Right across the top, everything. It was hard to get in there, but we got her done. That's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for checking it out. Really appreciate it. Thanks to everyone who's hit the subscribe button. If you haven't done it already, do me a favor, just hit the button. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.